Hello, everyone, and welcome to D&D for Dingbats. Our episode 6 is out now. I'm really excited about it. If you are liking this series, go ahead and please drop a like. But if you really like this series, I would suggest going on to Patreon and following my page, and subscribing to just the lowest tier. $1 a month, you get all these videos 1 week earlier, and it supports me, so I really appreciate it. But let's move on. Character creation. We've discussed different components of characters, but now it's time to put it actually all together to actually begin to practice what we've learned. So really the first step in character creation is your class. You pick what class you want, determine abilities. You can also pick equipment during this phase. We're going to go a bit more into detail on equipment next episode, so we'll talk about that a good bit. You can then pick your race. It's being known as species in the 2024 edition, so it's to get that charged language out of here, but we're going to refer to it as race because we're doing this based off of the 2014 handbook currently. You either use this for maximizing the abilities of your class or for pure role-playing flavor. Remember, you can go back to our other episodes to discuss what abilities your class should be prioritizing. I'll put that up in the top right. But you can also do it pure role-playing flavor, as if you want a centaur monk, go ahead and do it. Background, this will help more with proficiencies and add some more role-playing flavor. You can also flesh out your character in this phase. So let's get into some classes and go into a little bit more detail. This isn't even as much detail as a class has, but you should be able to understand all of these terms at this point. So hoping that we can get into that. So proficiencies, you'll pick 2 skills from Arcana, History, Investigation, Medicine, Nature, Perception, and Sleight of Hand. And I'll try and add to the top right now what the video of talking about skills. Then armor, you have light, medium, and shields. And then weapons, simple. Tools, you've got Thieves' Tools, Tinker's Tools, one type of Artisan's Tools of your choice, and saving throws, Constitution, and Intelligence. Your hit dice are 1d8, meaning at first level, your hit points will equal 8 plus your Constitution modifier. Whenever you gain a level, it would then be 5 plus your Constitution modifier. Equipment, you start off with 2 simple weapons, a light crossbow and 20 bolts, either studded leather or scale mail, and then Thieves' Tools and the Dungeoneer's Pack. Spellcasting, you have 2 cantrips that you know and can cast it, and 2 first-level spell slots, and you know the amount of spells equal to half your level to a minimum of 1. So rounding up. Half your level rounding up, and plus your intelligence modifier. So you'll at least know 1 spell. Barbarian, skills-wise, you pick 2 from Animal Handling, Athletics, Intimidation, Nature, Perception, and Survival. Knowing armor proficiencies are light, medium, and shields. Simple and martial weapons, no tools, and strength and constitution saving throws. Now for the hit dice for a barbarian, you use a 1d12, meaning at first level you have 12 hit points plus your constitution modifier. And then at higher levels, you have 7 plus your constitution modifier for each level above first. Equipment, you have a great axe or any martial weapon, which it's funny, a great axe is a martial weapon. It's really just for theme. They're being like, hey, a great axe makes sense with a barbarian. You can then also have either 2 hand axes or any simple weapon, an explorer's pack, and 4 javelins. Notes, you get some extra damage and take less when you're using your rage ability. We'll talk about that when we do deep dives of each class. And increased armor class when you're not wearing armor. So normally your armor class is pretty poopy when you don't have any armor, but barbarians get a buff to that, along with a few other classes. Bards, you have 3 skills of any type. So this is the most free on what skills you pick. Armor of light. Weapons, you have all simple weapons, hand, crossbow, longsword, rapier, and short swords. 3 musical instruments, and dexterity and charisma on your saving throws. 1d8 hit dice, so all that information is the same. And then equipment, you have a rapier or a longsword or any simple weapon. You then also get a diplomat's pack or an explorer's pack, and then leather armor and a dagger. Spellcasting wise, you have 2 cantrips, 2 first level spell slots, and 4 spells. That upgrades as you level up, but for first level, that's all you need to know. For cleric, skills wise, you pick 2: insight, history, medicine, persuasion, and religion. Armor, you have light, medium, and shields. Then for weapons, simple, tools, none, saving throws, wisdom, and charisma. Also using that 1d8 hit dice, so feel like you can. Don't need me to describe that each time. Equipment, you pick either a mace or a warhammer. Note that asterisk, but we'll get back to that in a second. Scale mail or leather armor, or chain mail. Light crossbow or any simple weapon. Priest or explorer's pack. And then a holy symbol and shield. So what does that asterisk mean? At cleric, at first level, at least in 2014, it changes in 2024, you get to choose your subclass. We'll talk more about those when we go in detail about the cleric, because lots of things happen. Some of those subclasses give you the ability to be proficient in martial weapons or heavy armor, some both. So that's one where a warhammer and chainmail you can be proficient in them as a cleric. Spellcasting wise, 3 cantrips. You have 2 first level spell slots, and spells equal to your level plus your wisdom modifier. And druid is your next one. Skills of 2: arcana, animal handling, insight, medicine, nature, perception, religion, and survival. Armor is light, medium, and shields, with a note that they will not use metal armor or shields. Weapons is clubs, daggers, darts, javelins, maces, quarterstaff, scimitars, sickles, slings, and spears. So it has the weirdest selection. They just don't want you to have too many options, I guess. And then tools, herbalism kit, and saving throws, intelligence, and wisdom. Actually, I should say they want you expanded from some regular spellcasters, but they don't want you to have as much as like a melee focused. Then hit points is your 1d8 again. And equipment wise, you have a wooden shield or a simple weapon, and then a scimitar or a simple melee weapon. Then you have a leather armor. You have leather armor, an explorer's pack, and a druidic focus. Spellcasting, 2 cantrips. You have 2 first level spell slots. The amount of spells is equal to your wisdom modifier plus your level, which in this case would be 1. Fighter, you have acrobatics, animal handling, athletics, history, insight, intimidation, perception, and survival, picking 2 of those. Armor-wise, you're proficient in all armor and shields. In weapons, it's all simple and all martial, and tools, none. Strength and constitution saving throws, hit dice of 1d10. So at first level, it's 10 plus constitution modifier. Higher levels, it's 6 plus your constitution modifier added to that. Equipment, you have chainmail or leather armor and longbow and 20 arrows. You have a martial weapon and shield or 2 martial weapons. A light crossbow and 20 bolts or 2 hand axes. And a dungeoneer's pack or explorer's pack. Lots of options here. Some notes: you've got fighting style to further flesh out combat, so you have things like archer, which allows you to be better at using bows. You have 2-hand weapons, 2-weapon fighter, which means your 2 martial weapons. And you can also heal yourself with an ability called Second Wind. Again, more information will be later. Also, I hope you note that on the spellcasters, you kind of realize why it's important to prioritize your spellcasting ability, because it determines how many spells you can know. Monk, you have skills, pick 2 from acrobatics, athletics, history, insight, religion, stealth. Armor-wise, you have none. Weapons is simple and short swords, and then artisan's tools or a musical instrument. Saving throws, strength and dexterity. Note those artisan's tools could be things like mason's tools, clothiers, tools, things of that nature. We'll go over that more in the next episode. Hit points, they do use a 1d8. Equipment is a short sword or a simple weapon, a Dungeoneer's pack or an Explorer's pack, and 10 darts. They have key points that can be used to make special abilities. You also have enhanced unarmed attacks, and then you also have unarmored like defense. So similar to Barbarian, you're better without armor. Paladin, you pick 2 skills from Athletics, Insight, Intimidation, Medicine, Persuasion, or Religion. Armor is all shields. Uh, Weapons, simple and martial, no tools, saving throws of wisdom and charisma. You're a 1d10 hit point character. Equipment, you have a martial weapon and shield, or 2 martial weapons. You then have 5 javelins or a simple melee weapon. You then have a priest pack or an explorer's pack, and then chainmail and a holy symbol. Notes, you also get some fighting styles, though not as much as the fighter. You can heal allies and sense evil around you, and at later levels, you're going to unlock spellcasting off of your charisma modifier. So keep that in mind when you're creating your character. Ranger skills, you pick 3 from animal handling, athletics, insight, investigation, nature, perception, stealth, survival. Armor is light, medium, and shields. Weapons is simple and martial. Tools, none. Saving throws, strength, and dexterity. It's another hit dice of 1d10. Equipment is scale mail or leather armor. 2 short swords or 2 simple melee weapons. Dungeoneer's pack or explorer's pack. And then longbow and 20 arrows. Some notes, you also get some fighting styles, not as much as the fighter. You get bonuses to hunting things and surviving out in the wild, and you get spellcasting at later levels using your wisdom. So keep that in mind as you create your level 1 characters. Rogue, you pick 4 from acrobatics, athletics, deception, insight, intimidation, investigation, perception, performance, and persuasion. Armor is light. Weapons is simple. Hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, and short swords. Then thieves' tools and dexterity and intelligence. And of course, my printer's deciding it wants to go crazy. 1d8 hit point character. Equipment, you have a rapier or short sword, a short bow and 20 arrows or a short sword. Burglar's pack or Dungeoneer's pack or Explorer's pack. We'll go into what are in all of those in our equipment section. Leather armor and 2 daggers and thieves' tools. So, good bit of equipment, a lot of skills. Note, you actually gain some bonuses to some skills, which we'll talk about in our rogue video. And you also gain bonuses when attacking foes that you can't see or are in combat with allies. To simplify it, we'll go about that more in detail on our rogue video. So now we're getting into some of the more main spellcasting characters. You have the Sorcerer, 2 skills from either Arcana, Deception, Insight, Intimidation, Persuasion, or Religion. No armor proficiencies. Weapons, you've got daggers, darts, slings, quarterstaffs, and light crossbow. No tools, and saving throws in Constitution and Charisma. 1d6 hit points. Apologies, got something stuck in my throat. 6 plus your Constitution modifier, and then 4 plus your Constitution modifier for higher levels above first. So you are not very tanky whatsoever. Stay out of combat. Light crossbow and 20 bolts or a simple weapon. A component pouch or arcane focus. Dungeoneer's pack or explorer's pack, and 2 daggers. Spellcasting wise, 4 cantrips, 2 first level spell slots, and 2 spells known. Sorcerer is pretty simple, but they get some cool abilities that you can modify spells with. Warlock. So technically a spellcaster class, but they're a little different. 2 skills from Arcana, Deception, History, Intimidation, Investigation, Nature, or Religion. Light armor, simple weapons, no tools, saving throws in Wisdom and Charisma. 1d8 hit dice. Light crossbow and 20 bolts, or a simple weapon. Component pouch or arcane focus, Dungeoneer's pack or scholar's pack, leather armor, simple weapon, and 2 daggers. Spellcasting wise, they have 2 cantrips, they have 1 first level spell slot, and 2 spells known. That's what kind of separates them from regular spellcasters. Our last spellcaster is the wizard. Two skills from Arcana, History, Insight, Investigation, Medicine, Religion. No armor, daggers, darts, slings, quarterstaffs, light crossbows, tools, none, saving throws of intelligence and wisdom, 1d6 hit dice, um, or as your hit dice. Equipment is a quarterstaff or dagger, a component pouch or arcane focus, a scholar's pack or explorer's pack, and a spell book. Spellcasting wise, you have 3 cantrips, 2 first level spell slots, and the spells you know is equal to your intelligence modifier plus your level. Um, Real quick, we're going to go over some race skill proficiencies. You get none from a lot of these, but elves you get perception, half orcs you get intimidation. All the others you don't really get skills from, and that's going to be it for this episode, honestly. A pretty easy episode, but I think it will be very helpful. We'll go over equipment next time to kind of just get more in line with what we're learning of what the difference between weapons are, what kind of will you be starting with. Um, and yeah, we'll cover that in the next episode. So please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what class you're looking to get into, what race. Just let me know what characters you're interested in creating, and I'll do my best to help you with it. I answer every comment, so I'll see you in the next episode. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Patreon if you would. It really helps. And I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.